I've learned a lot over the 4 decades of health and fitness and being in the trenches with the greatest in the world. And one of those things I've learned a lot more about and how to build better muscle is nutrition and how it has changed over the decades. And that's why I have the Titan meal plan for you guys out there that are confused about nutrition. I'm going to set you straight. Get a hold of me today. The link will be in the comments down below for you guys. Everybody, get over to the Titan meal plan, and I'll see you in the Titan crew where I will fine tune any difficulties that you're having. Happy Friday, everybody. It is the Mike O'Hearn Show on Generation Iron. And today's a reality check. Just FYI, I will be at the Arnold Classic next weekend. So please come on out and say hello. I'll be at Pro Gym doing the podcast right out of Pro Gym, sitting down with people like Ed Cohen, CT Fletcher, Kevin Lavroni, Sean Ray, and others. But today is Mythbusters. This one's going to be hard to swallow for some of you. And I think this is going to be great for a lot of you that is sick and tired of the person that can retain information, can read it, retain it, and spit it out in a very articulate way and has no relevance or any visual effect of anything he's saying on himself. And so this is that, the teacher teaches because he can't do, right? And the reason I want to talk about something that's very interesting to me is studies. And studies are great, and studies sound great, and it might make you feel comfortable. But what I found was this, that just one of the simple studies they talk about is when you're going to put on size, just go about, 250, 300, or in that range above your calorie intake that you burn, and you're going to put on lean muscle, and that's as far as you need to go. And for a lifetime, what I did in the off season is I put 1,002 calories. It was over. It was not that number of 250, 300 calories over. And what was cool about that was that just common sense, by eating 1,000 calories over, it put on body weight, which helped me move heavier weights, which helped me get stronger, which helped me build muscle. And then when I slice down, again, I can retain a lot of that muscle. And for me, I've been able to retain most of that muscle each time I cut down. And that's what was interesting on this last cut down, coming off season and getting ready. Again, if I listened to the studies, which first of all, I rarely do, just because as soon as I hear it, it's, again, you're telling me to listen to somebody that, again, visually didn't do it, and just reporting the aspect of what these 100,000 million people did, knowing that in no way are as dedicated to the lifestyle as I am. There's not a human alive that is. That's just something that I love doing, this health and fitness lifestyle, the protocol of eating, training, and sleeping. And so when I sit there and I hear the study, well, these people didn't put on much more muscle than these people over here that went 1,000 or 2,000 calories. I know what it did for me as the individual. And I hope more of you guys kind of listen to what's working for you compared to the study. Because a lot of you guys are out there that are just like, you're making the gains and things are happening, and everybody else is saying, well, you're not doing it right. Well, the great thing about it is they're finally starting to talk about my protocol and how I train. And now they're going, well, the study shows. So the interesting fact is, can you, as the individual, when you're hearing all this information about studies and where the rep range should be, are you intelligent enough to break down on, first off, is that going to be something that you'll do for a long period of time? Because if you're not having fun and it's not exciting for you, you probably won't do it for a long period of time. But if you like it, and I'm talking about the guy that wants to do 4 reps compared to the guy that says, well, you got to do 12 reps. That's where it's at. The guy that likes 4 reps is going to do it a lot longer than the guy that's told to do 12 reps and he's not getting his love of what he does out of it. And it goes back to that terminology. The man that likes the walk will go further compared to the man that just likes the destination. And I love that. And Sal said that from Mind Pump. And I still think that's one of the best quotes in the last 2 decades that's ever been said. I don't think there's been a person on the planet that likes lifting more than I do. But I also like the struggle of trying to continuously stay at the most peak level as I possibly can. And I realized as I sliced into this last cut and came out like it did, I was like, man, it's interesting, because if I listened to people when I was a teenager, if I listened to what they were saying, nothing would have happened for me. I would have been the guy that gave up and doing probably construction up there in Washington. If you are confused about training, do not worry. That's what the Titan training plan is for. For you guys to subscribe to this plan, you also get the additional coaching from me in the Titan private group. Get in there today, and I cannot wait to start working with you and making your dreams come true. Let's get back to the show. You guys are listening to guys like Dingleberry, the Hobbit. What's his name? Hobbit, whatever his name is. And he's like, no, dude, do this. He's like, stop. Dude, you were in shape for a split second and you can't even maintain your muscle. And now you're telling everybody else how to build muscle? Dude, you're in your you're almost 20 years younger than me, and you can't even look good compared to what you look like. And you're trying to give advice to everybody. And that's what you're going to see. You're going to see a lot of guys spitting advice that couldn't maintain it after their 20s or 30s. And then you're like, well, wait a minute. Why are you telling us how to do it if you can't maintain it? And there's guys in their 30s that don't work out and don't eat right, and they still look better than most of these guys that are in the gym 6 days a week. And so, listen, 20s and 30s, great. And I'm glad you guys are out there. And I'm glad you bookworms are out there telling people how to do it. And that's the niche for you to get followers and names. That's great. I love, and there are some names that I love following, the logic and how the body recovers and how these things could help stimulate your stuff. But at the end of the day, if you think there's a trick to this, or there's a magic number of everybody just eat 250 calories more than your maintenance, and you're going to put on muscle, and this is going to be it, and then you're going to be fine, and the world is going to open up to you. You're going to be the oyster with the pearl inside. It doesn't work that way. It really just comes down to you freaking loving what you're doing, finding what you're weak at and keep building on top of that. And then just doing the best you can every single day is going to win out. I'm so glad that I had that ignorant bliss, and maybe the reading disability as a young kid really helped me in life to ignore a lot of the loudest voices. I guess that's what you would say. The loudest voices arguing, don't eat this, don't eat that. Where I grew up on pasta and peanut butter and Wonder Bread, and still was I was 10 pounds bigger than I am right now at 15, winning the powerlifting meets in Mr. Washington bodybuilding. And so what does that tell you? I'm a genetic freak. No, all pros are genetic freaks. I am no different than anybody else. Why can I do behind the neck press? Because my shoulders are special? They're not special. My shoulders are like any other Joe. It's just that I've stayed in the range of motion and opened it up to where I can continue to do that stuff. I guess at the end of the day, it just comes down to what you love and what you don't love. If you want to follow a protocol that these guys set you up with, this is the best way, this is the best way, this is the best way, I wish you the very best. And hopefully that does work for you. But I'll always go with the guy that loves doing it, that will be willing to do the work. Lunchbox mentality. Every day he's willing to get up, do the work. Don't let anything be handed to him. Work his ass off. Have you guys seen what these guys, there's guys out there. Robbie Rumpson's my training partner. How do you not look at him and go, whatever he says, that's the golden ticket that I want? Because for me, I see these guys and I love listening to these guys tell you about how to eat and all this kind of stuff, but I'm not listening to a guy that's 20, 30, 40, or 50, because unless they can still do it in each decade, it doesn't really make sense to me as an individual that goes, well, I'm at this range where there's so few that are still doing it at this level. If something's working for you, stay with that bad boy. Stay with it. Have fun with it. And just keep doing your thing, because at the end of the day, if you outlast them, you loved what you're doing, then you're truly enjoying your life. And that's what this is about, being able to be optimal at all stages of your life. And that doesn't mean you peaked in high school, and I don't want to hear that, or you peaked in college. I love seeing so many more 40 and 50-year-old guys going, this is going to be the best shape of my life. You guys are the savages, and women. And so that's it. I'll see everybody at the Arnold Classic next week. Have a great day. And again, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. We get content over there. And feel free to block Dingleberry or Hobbit, whatever his name is. All right. Peace out.